Hello everyone! Welcome to Baby Bites UPSC Current Affairs. I'm your tiny host, bringing you the biggest news from September 2nd, 2025. Let's start with international relations. At the SCO Summit in Tianjin, Prime Minister Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping had their first bilateral talks since the 2020 standoff. They agreed to fast-track boundary resolution talks and resume direct flights. The Tianjin Declaration included strong language against cross-border terrorism. In defense news, India and the U.S. are conducting Malabar 2025, their fifth joint military exercise this year. The 21st edition of UPSC is also happening in Alaska. Great news for our Air Force. They're receiving their first two fully armed Tejas Mk-1A fighter jets this month, replacing the aging MiG-21 fleet. On the economic front, India's fiscal deficit stands at 4.8% of GDP for 2024-25, with a target of 4.4% for 2025-26. Our GDP grew by 7.4% in the last quarter, with 6.5% growth for the full fiscal year. The government is focusing on Viksit Bharat, with zero income tax for earnings up to 12 lakh under the new tax regime. Environmental updates. India is targeting 500 GW of non-fossil electricity by 2030 and net zero emissions by 2070. The National Green Hydrogen Mission aims to produce 5 NNT annually by 2030. New environment audit rules establish a formal environmental auditing framework with a two-tier system. In science and technology, India unveiled its first indigenous 32-bit processor, the Vikram chip, at Semicon India 2025. APDA launched the Bharati initiative to support agri-food startups, aiming for $50 billion in exports by 2030. For sports enthusiasts, 14-year-old Madhav Gopal Kamath made history as the first Indian to win the World Youth Scrabble Championship. Yuki Bombri reached the U.S. Open men's doubles quarterfinals, and New Delhi will host the Badminton World Championships next year. In social issues, the Supreme Court now has only one woman judge out of 34 following Justice Dhulia's retirement. The court is also reviewing the exemption of minority schools from the Right to Education Act. That's all for today's current affairs. Remember, big dreams come in small packages, just like me. Keep studying hard for your UPSC exams. This is your baby host signing off. Bye-bye.